This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, the State Fire Marshal's office is now investigating a fire in Milo that left one person dead. Crews were called to a garage workshop located next to a home at 61 Elm Street a little after 4 a.m. Sunday. A spokesperson for the Maine Department of Public Safety says they found human remains inside. The deceased has been tentatively identified as 76-year-old Dwight Russell, who lived at the property. The office of the Chief Medical Examiner will confirm that identity. The fire remains under investigation. Well, 2 years ago today, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, delivering the issue of abortion from a federally protected right back to an issue now decided on a state-by-state basis. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard spoke with Planned Parenthood of Northern New England to hear more about what changes we've seen here in Maine and what direction we're possibly heading in.
The U.S. Supreme Court sent our country hurtling into a healthcare crisis.
Lisa Margulies, a vice president of public affairs for Planned Parenthood of Northern New England, is talking about the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, which stripped the federal reproductive protections that Roe v. Wade put in place for over 50 years, and instead put the status of reproductive rights back in the hands of individual states.
And luckily here in Maine, we've seen legislators act in line with what the people want, which is to keep reproductive health care safe and legal and accessible.
In the 131st Maine legislature, lawmakers passed multiple bills to protect and expand reproductive rights in Maine, including LD 1619, which removed language regarding viability in Maine's abortion law, and LD 227, which is known as a shield law, to protect anyone receiving an abortion or reproductive care in Maine from being prosecuted by out-of-state actors. But Margulies says lawmakers fell short of sending the issue of abortion to November's ballot.
So this past legislative session, lawmakers in Augusta denied the people of Maine the opportunity to vote on whether to enshrine the right to reproductive autonomy in our state constitution. But of course, voters will not be denied their right to cast ballots for who they want to represent them in the next legislative session.
With not only all 186 state legislature seats up for grabs, but also Maine's 2 congressional districts, one of Maine's U.S. Senate seats, and the U.S. presidential election this November, Margulies says this election is more important than ever.
We know that extremists won't stop in their attacks, not just on abortion, but reproductive health care writ large. That's birth control, that's IVF, that's all the care that pregnant people need over the course of their pregnancy. We also know, again, that over 80% of Americans believe abortion care should be legal.
We reached out to the Christian Civic League for comment and did not receive a response. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, according to a new report by the FBI, active shooter incidents in the U.S. decreased slightly last year from the previous year. In 2023, the FBI designated 48 shootings as active shooter incidents. That's down 4% from 2022. Despite that decrease, though, the number of active shooter incidents is still 60% higher than it was back in 2019. 15 of those active shooter incidents were classified as mass shootings, with the October 25th tragedy in Lewiston topping the list as the deadliest shooting of 2023. Well, last fall, the Newburgh Fire Department unveiled a brand new station after Senator Susan Collins secured $1 million in congressionally directed funding. The senator returned to the fire station today to see how the improvements are impacting that community. Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
This building is just amazing compared to where we just come out of.
After opening their brand new fire station last fall, Newburgh's fire chief says the new and improved building has made a huge impact on their team.
The guys are just, now they can't wait to get here. They can't wait to come in and help out, clean, do some stuff, hang out, and without this, that would not be possible.
He says their previous building was in such disrepair it became a health hazard.
A lot of black mold. It was coming out from the ceilings, the walls. Health-wise, it was a huge concern for the guys.
The fire chief says they never would have built a new building without the $1 million secured by Senator Susan Collins, who got a chance to visit the facility on Monday.
I'm so proud of the work that our first responders do, and any way that I can help them and improve public safety really means a lot to me personally.
The senator says addressing first responder work shortages is a top priority for her.
As the experience of this community shows, if you have better equipment, if you have a good little kitchen off the side, if you have a decontamination room, people are much more likely to volunteer.
The fire chief hopes to see more efforts like this for other stations across the state.
I'm hoping that it even helps out with other towns that are thinking about maybe starting processes like this and getting things moving forward. They got to do it.
In Newburgh, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Senator Collins also made an appearance on the University of Maine campus today for the start of the Cohen Institute's High School Leadership Program. The Cohen Institute launched the program in 2019 after seeing a lack of leadership courses for high school students in Maine. Rising seniors from across the state were selected to participate. Organizers say it aims to immerse them in both the theory and practice of leadership.
Part of this week really is about not only aspiration and inspiration, but the big thing we talk about is perspiration, working hard.
I hope also that I might inspire some of them to get involved in community service, to run for office, and to envision themselves as policymakers.
Throughout the week, students will also earn early college credit by completing a course that introduces them to the fundamentals of leadership studies. The program is free for students. Anyone interested in joining next year must be a rising senior and be nominated by their high school. Well, residents on the island town of Vinyl Haven say they're frustrated following recent cancellations of ferry trips to and from the mainland. Our David Ledford took the ride out to the island to see what residents are saying and how the state is working to resolve that problem.
If I don't have that basic service, I can't survive here.
Over the past couple of months, the Maine State Ferry Service has canceled dozens of trips on its Vinyl Haven route.
This is a really serious problem out here.
Those we spoke with in Vinyl Haven say they rely on the ferry because it's the only consistent way to get on and off the island, which is why trip cancellations can lead to issues in their everyday lives.
If the groceries don't come in on time, I don't get the foods I need. We have medical appointments, we have events, we have businesses to run.
Maine DOT Representative Paul Merrill says Vinyl Haven is impacted more than other islands the ferry serves because of staffing issues.
Vinyl Haven has 2 fully crewed vessels that serve it. When we get to a point where staffing becomes a challenge and we need to cancel a run, we go down to 1 boat.
Merrill says the rest of the routes are making 98% of their scheduled runs. In the short term, the ferry service will be using a staffing agency to help meet the Coast Guard's federal safety regulations for staffing.
By no means is anybody completely cut off because of these disruptions, but it is disruptive, it is impactful. We're working to try to explore multiple options.
However, business owners are concerned that their summer revenue will be impacted by further cancellations.
We have people coming who have made arrangements beforehand to spend the night, and if the ferries aren't running, they won't be here.
Long-term, Merrill says the DOT is looking to hire more permanent crew. And Merrill says the Mills administration has worked to raise wages in recent years, but further increases would likely mean a rise in ferry rates, as 50% of operations are funded through customer fares. In Vinyl Haven, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Alrighty, folks, well, let's go ahead and hit pause here. We will peek outside and get a first check of our forecast.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by Acres Away Real Estate. Located at 309 West Broadway in Lincoln. Call Alan, Bobby Lynn, or Kara to help guide you through the buying or selling process. 794-2700. Let's talk weather. And hey, we have some showers and thunderstorms out there today. Kept temperatures down just a bit. 67 in Millinocket, 74 here in Bangor. Overall, though, warmer temperatures are in the forecast heading forward and much more humid, too. Still some showers and a couple of storms out there. Now, Now, these will fall apart tonight. Tomorrow will be another nice day across our region, followed by some more locally heavy rainfall in the 5-day forecast. All of this is going that way this evening. Tomorrow should be a dry day across our region. Our forecast, though, tonight, though, not so dry. Showers out there now continuing through about midnight or so, with low temperatures down near 60. Your full forecast is coming up.
Alrighty, Jeff, thank you so much. And folks, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, our Doug Banks talked with 2 lifelong educators from Blue Hill who are getting ready to unveil their new business venture. And a charity golf scramble was recently held to raise money to support the UCP of Maine's Elizabeth Levinson Center. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Hammond Lumber Company has been a trusted partner of professional contractors, do-it-yourselfers, and homeowners for generations. It's the level of trust that Hammond Lumber has earned by providing an extensive selection of products and materials from industry-leading suppliers, with guidance and support through every stage of any project, including delivery of materials throughout Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company is, has been, and will always be your building project partner. Spring is here, and now is the time to call Hickory Dickory Decks for your new deck, sunroom, or enclosed porch. They specialize in custom outdoor living and making your dream oasis a reality. See for yourself how Hickory Dickory Decks can transform your existing porch into a 3-season sun-space sunroom. Call Hickory Dickory Decks now for your free estimate and enjoy life outdoors.
Welcome to the Orono Arcade, your local, affordable destination. We want to provide you with the best experience we can without costing a small fortune. Our ever-popular 9-hole blacklight mini golf course is a huge attraction. Plus, we have the best arcade video games to choose from, including both modern and retro games. The Orono Arcade is an ideal birthday party destination. You bring the cake, we'll provide the entertainment. Call us today to schedule your birthday party event.
Embrace the journey, where each moment turns into a cherished memory. Ensuring life's journey and experiences along the way. AAA, we're always with you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Over in Blue Hill, 2 lifelong educators have opened a business together. Our Doug Banks takes us to Devil's Half-Acre Beer Garden, where the owners say it's a place that everyone can find a little piece of home.
Tucked inside downtown Blue Hill, 2 lifelong educators are now on the first page of a new chapter in their lives.
One guy yesterday said, you know, the thing about this place is nothing matches, but everything matches.
Becomes like a living room of sorts. It's just a great place to relax.
Mark Hervitt worked in education for 41 years, the last 15 spent as the superintendent of School Union 93. And while his wife, Tracy Lemire, continues to teach at the Adams School in Castine, Hervitt is replacing his textbooks with pint glasses.
This barn had no water, no sewer, no lighting, and it did not have a bar, obviously. Open for business.
Devil's Half-Acre Beer Garden is named after what they're surrounded by. The barn sits upon land that's long been known as Devil's Half-Acre. It is now literally a beer garden that grows flowers and beer.
I think the first day that we opened, we're like, people are actually coming in and sitting down, but it starts to feel like home.
What's it like to work here?
It's one of the best experiences in my 43 years of existence. They built a community here for the community. I feel like a lot of places here are going through the motions, place that's trying to make everybody feel like they're at home.
This is a place where everybody can feel comfortable and just relax and just be and experience a point in time.
And we'll just see where this thing leads us. You know, we'll just see.
To learn more about the Devil's Half-Acre Beer Garden, visit our website, foxbangor.com. In Blue Hill, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey headed up to Northern Maine to highlight the annual Northern Maine Soapbox Derby. More of that and more after the break.
The new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. There's joy in every journey. Lease a Hyundai Elantra for only $179 a month, or get 3.49% APR, or up to $1,500 bonus cash. See your local Bangor Hyundai dealer.
For fences that last, call Allen Farm first. For more than 30 years, Allen Farm Fence has been putting the customer first by selling and installing the highest quality product. By providing the do it right, install to last, make the customer smile type service. For vinyl, wood, or steel, choose an Allen Farm Fence. Allen Farm Fence. You deserve the best. Get your free estimate today at allenfarmfence.com.
Hi, I'm Barry Gass, and my grandfather started Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear right here in Orono in 1911. Just after World War II, my father ran the business for decades. Now, with my wife and wonderful staff, we are continuing the tradition of bringing the American West to Maine. Our authentic Western boots are handcrafted for comfort, style, work, and casual wear. Saddle up with our premium selection of top quality saddles. Top it off with the perfect hat from classic to modern ranch. Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
Saving for higher education for my kids is super important to my husband and me because we obviously want to give them opportunities to explore whatever their passion might be. I kind of consider it as a non-negotiable. I have to pay my electric bill, I've got to pay my heat bill, and I'm going to put money aside for my kids' higher education.
To learn more about NextGen 529, its investment objectives, risks, and costs, read the program description at nextgenforme.com. Check if your home state has a 529 plan that offers tax or other benefits.
The Hyundai Palisade. With advanced tech and award-winning safety, there's joy in every journey. Lease an all-wheel drive Palisade SEL for only $349 a month, or step up to a limited with $1,250 bonus cash. See your local Bangor Hyundai dealer.
A little bit south from here, we had a beautiful day for some golf in Maine. Welcome back in, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. The Maine Open kicking off on Monday at Augusta Country Club. Over 120 golfers teeing it up under some picture-perfect conditions. Let's begin at 16. Topsom's Caleb Manuel, who just turned pro. Look at this incredible chip. That is going to drop in for an eagle. What a shot right there from the Mount Ararat grad. Moving on now, it's Sean Warren on hole 17. A nice chip here. That is good for a par save. Tough spot to get up and down from, but he would do just that. Moving on now, it's going to be Dan Venezio with a long birdie attempt here on 17. That's going to come up just about a half-inch short. Good read there, but he would settle for a par. That's an easy par. Moving on, it's Elliott Spaulding out of Freeport. He had a terrific round. Here he is sinking a birdie putt on 18 to finish 2 under. Caleb again on 18 for him with another fantastic chip. This one almost holes as well. He would birdie that hole to finish 1 under. Here's what he had to say after round 1.
To get it under par, I think, was successful in the end. But yeah, just work on some wedges. My wedges were kind of not strong today, and they're normally, my best part. So I'm just going to go work on that and then just come out, try to fire tomorrow.
To the leaderboard we go. Caleb just outside of the top 10. Sean Bostosh is in the lead at 9 under. Ryan Solano at 6 under, tied with Zachary Barbin. And then Zane Thomas and Patrick Healy, both at 3 under, tied for 4. And there are 8 golfers tied for 6th with 2 under. 3 of them amateurs that all hail from the Pine Tree State. Jack Quinn, Elliott Spaulding, and Mick Madden all at 2 under. All right, let's talk some baseball now. When Maine baseball takes the field for Game 1 next spring or even practice in the fall, they'll be doing so with a different right-hand man to head coach Nick Durba. Durba's associate head coach Scott Heath is heading south to the University of Southern Maine, filling the vacant head coaching spot left by Ed Flaherty after he retired this year following 39 seasons at the helm. Heath is a native of Westbrook who played 4 years with the Black Bears, having a terrific career too. He served as the pitching coach and recruiting coordinator since 2019, and last fall he was promoted to the associate head coaching position. All All right, staying on the baseball diamond now, it's been a great few weeks for the Boston Red Sox, and after their Sunday win over the Cincinnati Reds, they now officially hold a playoff spot. Boston is a season-best 6 games over the 500 mark at 42-36. They played Toronto at Fenway Park in just about an hour. The win yesterday gave them sole possession of the 3rd wild card spot. Coming into Monday, they have not lost their last 7 series. They've won 4 in a row, dating back to the Phillies a few weeks ago, and are playing themselves into the playoff picture in the AL East as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the deadline if they keep this up. But anyways, here's what Alex Cora had to say on the recent brand of baseball his guys have been playing.
We finished the trip the right way. We play well. There was a lot of energy. What Jerry is doing in the little spot is it's fun to watch. Put good at bats, hit the ball the other way. It's fun to watch. It felt like they saw the ball well. They were on the fastball, and they put good swings on it. They took some close pitches, right, for balls, and just.
All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, Tyler, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Big Pine Painting, the #1 family-owned and operated painting company serving Bangor and Belfast and surrounding areas for all your paint, drywall, and pressure washing needs. Here we go. Weather-wise, the results are in from May, and May came back as the warmest May on record globally. So that's land and ocean temperatures. So certainly a very kind of warm and wet month of May around here for sure. That extended pretty much globally across our neck of the woods. All right, 74 here in Bangor today. 67 Millinocket, so a bit cool up that direction. 77 Bar Harbor, so comfortable, but overall warmer temperatures are on the way. No 90s, but certainly 80s are back into the 5-day forecast. It's 90 in Washington right now, 97 for Kansas City. So lots of heat here, and this is our problem as storms like to go around this bubble of really hot air, and we're kind of in that area. So some showers are out there today. We'll get a break in the action probably for tomorrow and also for Wednesday, followed by some more rain showers back in the forecast for Thursday and Friday. The overall trend, though, is still for above average temperatures into early portions of July, and that could keep us easily in the upper 70s to low 80s on average around here. All right, the wind out there today, pretty much on the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Not a big factor at all, except for under a couple of the gustier thunder showers. Some wind was in there. Overall, though, the wind will die down tonight, and then tomorrow, there could be some dense fog early tomorrow, followed by some more wind throughout the afternoon. It will not be a very windy day, though, but there is a small craft advisory out there for wave heights approaching 5 to 7 feet just offshore through tomorrow afternoon. Let's talk thunder showers, though. So there's some out there right now. There's nothing heavy or severe across the area, but they are out there currently. The radar pretty active across our area. These are beginning to die out, though. So overall, a decreasing trend on these. They'll all kind of shift to the east of us tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have decreasing clouds early, followed by the return of some high pressure, and that's going to give us a pretty nice day for tomorrow and most of Wednesday before we get some more weather in here on Thursday. So here's tomorrow, no problems at all, but here is to the west of us, right? So here's tomorrow at 3 o'clock, looking to the west, lots of clouds there. Increasing clouds Wednesday morning, maybe a sprinkle, most likely not. Heavier rain gets in here, though, on Thursday, and this could be some locally heavy rainfall once again. Here are the numbers on that. So again, a widespread soaking rainfall is on the way, most likely for Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. All right, going forward, though, tonight scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms out there, non-severe, ending late. Look for low temperatures down near 58. For tomorrow, a pretty nice day, mostly sunny, warmer, 80s back in the forecast, mid-80s for a few of us with a north breeze around 10 to 15. And looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows nice day for us tomorrow, nice day for us on Wednesday, followed by the return of thunderstorms on Thursday with some locally heavy rainfall. Here's Friday, 77, cooler for the weekend, a nice temperature there of 72.
All righty, Jeff, thank you so much. And folks, there is still more to come. Keep it right here.
It's time to bring the family and friends to Fort Knox. One of the best preserved and most accessible Civil War forts in the nation is right in our backyard, just off Route 1 across from Bucksport. Open every day, May through October, rain or shine. Check our website for details.
From a humble horse and buggy beginning over 100 years ago to a fleet of modern deluxe motor coaches today, Sear North Star Tours wants to take you places. In Maine, throughout the United States, and abroad, we offer tours and day trips to suit everyone's interests and passions. cherry blossoms in the spring, Prince Edward Island in the summer, trips to the city, trips to the shore, culture, history, music, and more. Sear North Star Tours. Where can we take you?
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basement-y. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basement-y.
Down to the shore or up to the mountains. Before you can get there, you've got to get here. Your Ford dealer's Great American Sales Event with special 4th of July deals. And now get your hands on select Ford SUVs, including Bronco and Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes, and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Right now, lease a Bronco Sport for $349 a month for 24 months, or get an Escape with 2.9% APR for 72 months, plus up to $1,000 bonus cash.
Did you know that the Penobscot Narrows Bridge Observatory is the tallest in the world, with the fastest elevator in New England and 360-degree views from 420 feet up? Open every day, May through October. Check our website for details.
Soapbox Derby racing is still attracting spectators to northern Maine, and our Jody Hersey was there for the competition.
1, 2, 3.
Racers from all over Aroostook County went head-to-head on Derby Hill and Holton during the annual Northern Maine Soapbox Derby over the weekend. It's a tradition that began back in 1994.
The kids that are more relaxed do better because it's just like they have nothing to lose.
Participants ages 8 to 18 get sponsors, build their own cars, and then race in the stock, super stock, or master stock division in a double elimination. However, the Holton race hosted only the stock and super stock divisions, where the weight of the stock car and driver can't exceed 200 pounds or 240 pounds for those in the super stock division.
So every car is the same. We do a progressive wheel swap. So every car that goes down the hill will get a run in the first lane. Then on the second trip up the hill, we actually swap the tires, case if it's a wheel deal or, you know what I mean, for a car. Then we send them back up and they race in opposite lanes just to keep it fair.
The top 8 racers in each division earn trophies. Driver Aiden Sear says he follows a certain technique each race.
So if you scoot your butt back as far as you can, then you duck down really far, then that makes the car go faster.
16-year-old Superstock driver Addison Linz carries a good luck charm.
It's my lucky rag. I wax my car with it and I clean my tires with it every single time I get to the top of the hill.
Soapbox Derby organizers say that these racers can hit speeds up to 35 miles per hour as they come down the hill.
We've had the police come out and they've radar ran us and everything, and it was 32 to 35 miles an hour.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Winners get the chance to advance to the International Soapbox Derby in Akron, Ohio in July, where they can compete for scholarships. In Holton, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
That's lane 2.
That looks like way too much fun. And it just so happens, folks, that both drivers you saw in that story, Aiden Sear and Addison Linz, who both live in Holton, won their divisions and will be heading to Ohio next month to compete in the International Soapbox Derby races, so we certainly wish them the very best of luck. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you right back here tonight at 11. Good night, everybody.
This week, the first presidential debate and breakdown. The race for the White House is on. Plus, the big cases still to be decided. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast across all of television.
When R&K Variety in Hamden wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store, offering fresh cooked meals that don't break the bank, gasoline for your mean machines, or beer and wine so your night is fine. Stop by today.
Counterclaim is dismissed. Your claim is dismissed. We're done here. Bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I kicked him out. He got mad.
Because I didn't like her. That's why she broke my phone. She got mad.
He basically had nowhere to go.
She scratched me. She jumped on me physically like a cat.
Tried to bully me out of $200.
Dude, I box for a living.
He did punch me. He ain't no boxer. It's all lies. He's a...
If I hit her, her jaw would have been wire shut and she wouldn't be able to talk.
habitual liar. He lies about everything.
Coming up, a person is dead following a fire in Milo. Plus, 2 years ago today, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. We look back on the impact of that decision. And Senator Collins returns to the Newburgh Fire Station to see how the federally funded improvements are impacting the community. All of those stories and more just ahead. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, the State Fire Marshal's Office is investigating a fire in Milo that left one person dead. Crews were called to a garage workshop located next to a home at 61 Elm Street a little after 4 p.m. Sunday. A spokesperson for the Maine Department of Public Safety says they found human remains inside. The deceased individual has been tentatively identified as 76-year-old Dwight Russell, who lived at the property. The office of the Chief Medical